Welcome to Crossing Cultures with Christina Luna one more week. And here we have an in-guest person. Our guest here is Marialides Hann, as known as DJ Ruby. I knew her as DJ Ruby from Venezuela. With everything that's going on in Venezuela, I thought we would have a real story of somebody that has lived there for many years, is now living in the United States, has family there. And this is going to be her story, how she grew up, how she came to the United States, what is the situation in the last years with her family and her, and what are the hopes for the future?
Yes. Well, thank you. First of all, Christina Luna, it's been my honor to be here in Crossing in Culture. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of course, always, DJ. So tell us a little bit about first, what is your view of what's happening in Venezuela and how it has affected your family and the people you know in these last years? Because you've been here for 26 years?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I did the research first.
Yes, definitely. Well, it's been a long time of roller coaster, like a roller coaster, up and downs, up and downs. But yes, it's been very hard to explain the whole story of 26 years. But the truth is that if we compare over 25 years ago, like let's say over 30 years ago, yes, you can see the difference between then and the last 20 years.
What differences?
The difference is that the micro business, for example, because my parents, they live out of the micro business and the craft frame looms manufacture of textiles. So from long time ago, they have been successful, have their store and the manufacturer in the same town, and basically sell the products basing on the tourism. But because the situation in Venezuela has decayed, it's no more tourists, it's no more gasoline, everything is so bad. So I would say it's very difficult to live off when you are thinking about going to a different state in the same country and you can't really go that far because you can't find gasoline to get in your car. So then the micro businesses, they don't have more support from the government like they used to expand their business, to grow. So it's a big difference. Now they don't have those resources.
You grew up before Chavez, right?
Yes.
The president was the president?
Yes, the Hugo Chavez Frias. Yes, he basically became a president after he did the coup.
Coup d'etat.
Yes, for Carlos Andres Perez, which it was like really crazy things going on. I didn't know that much. I cannot tell you that much because I'm not sure about politics. But what I can tell you is the life in Venezuela changed a lot since he took
For
the
better
chair.
or for worse with Chavez?
In the beginning with Chavez, it was better. It was better because he did a lot of homework, I would say, to be popular in the country, to earn that trust from the citizens of Venezuela. So he basically invested time and money for these infrastructures, give away credit to the micro businesses or big businesses, but at the same time, I mean, sorry, it's very contradicting, but at the same time, he was taking away from the people who have been very successful, like the rich people. They have a lot of lands, a lot of property that they were not using it. So he started taking it away from them to give it to the poor. So it's like it's a very big debate right there, because if you want to help the poor, you don't have to take it away from the people who have money from their ancestors, I will say. It's their heritage.
So they became popular with the poor people.
Yes, with the poor people, exactly.
Yeah.
So he started giving away, taking lands away from the rich people to build houses for the poor people.
Yeah.
Basically for free.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody have to pay. So who doesn't want a president who is going to give you a free house? Who doesn't want to have a president who's giving you money to start your own business? Who doesn't want a president who take a bag of food, which is not a really good food, is really bad, but people are still taking it. So taking it. So it grows a popularity in Venezuela just because he was so smart buying all these
People.
people.
So what happened afterwards?
Well, the majority, they voted for Hugo Chavez, and he became the president. And after he became the president, he um, updated the Constitution, something that we never see before. He updated the Constitution, adding and fixing certain things. Like, for example, the First Amendment is like the president can be reelected for undetermined time. What is that? Like every 5 years, he's gonna have a referendum, and the people are still voting for him, and the crime start coming crazy and start growing up, and the resources for food and for medicines, they were gone. So
For the rich and for the poor, for everybody.
for everybody. So everything start going down. The infrastructure of the factories in there, especially the refineries, which is, our resource is the oil, which is the main income for Venezuela from overseas, from other countries.
So what was the state of your family with Chavez and then Maduro?
Well, from Chavez, like I said before, he earned a lot of popularity, but then
For a while.
but then he appointed Maduro. He just appointed him. Okay, everybody, something happened to me, vote for Maduro, Nicolas Maduro. And this is what happened. So the people who were idolatrizing this president, they just follow what he said.
So what was the situation in all these years, like maybe 13 years, 14 years with Maduro? What was the situation of life there, like daily life, the economy for the rich and the poor? Because that's what you're talking about, right? For both sides and the middle people.
Yes. It's hard to say it like that, but it's the reality.
The truth. We want the truth.
The truth is that rich people got the benefit from the government because it was a monopoly. So the people who wanted to become successful and have all these resources, they were complying with the government of Nicolas Maduro to keep living the good lifestyle. But then these people basically minimize the resources, which is money and food also for the rest of the people. For example, for their employees, the employers were getting a piece of the good, but the employees were getting nothing.
What percentages are we talking about, more or less?
Wow. Between two presidents, you mean? Or
No, the percentage of people that were getting everything and the percentage of the population that was getting nothing or very little.
Well, that I don't have that number, but I would say the majority of the population didn't get the right resources. So, like say if we going to an average number, it will be like 70% of the people, the Venezuelans, they were in poverty. And the middle class basically fell down to be poor, to be in a lower class. And I would say like 70%, right? And the 30% was still working with the government. What they call it enchufados.
Enchufados, the ones that are connected, friends with the government.
Yes.
So what is the situation of the people now? Are they against that the United States took him away? Are they for? What are people's expectations and hopes?
Well, the oppositions, of course, they are very happy of what is going on right now. They want United States to take over. They want anyone around the country, but not the people who are right there right now, because it's the same group of people who were around Nicolas Maduro, who are still working right now. And they, according to President Trump, they are following the United States instructions to become better. But first of all, we got to go through a transition, and then after the transition, then we'll see what's going to happen. How's the people right now? The majority, yes, they are happy because the leader of this corrupted group is in jail right now. Is locked up. But it's very uncertain. It's like for example, my parents, they just waiting. They are in a standby. They have no idea.
What is the situation right now with these last weeks with food, with oil? Are people better than they were? Are they worse? Are they the same?
Well, after what happened on January 3rd, it was a big deal in Venezuela, because the supermarkets, they were closed because they are grocery stores. They are afraid that the thieves are gonna be coming and start looting, because they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going to happen. So everybody is afraid. Almost everybody are afraid that they're not gonna have any food. They're not gonna have any gas. Electricity, especially gas, because most of the houses in Venezuela, they run their kitchens by gas, so the gas is very important, and the electricity, the power too. So after what happened on January 3rd, the owners of supermarkets, especially to find food, which is essential for every house in Venezuela, are being closed and delivering food little by little, letting people coming in between 10 to 15 people at the most. They don't want that chaos. So it's being a little hard. And there's no gasoline around either. In the gas stations, there's no gasoline. So they're kind of like, I'm not sure if this is intentional, just to keep the people down so you don't have to go anywhere. But I will say it's being tough.
Right now, it's
right
worse than it was? Or
yeah, right
same?
now, I would say right now it's worse. It's worse, but it's like fading out, because it all depends. I mean, if you are 15 minutes away from the downtown and you don't see nothing is going on, and you need to buy food, you need to get some stuff, good stuff for the house, you can you can try to get some stuff. If you don't hear anything in the news, nothing is going on. It's no celebrations, by the way. In the country after January 3rd, the government say we don't want to see any celebrations, so nobody is doing any celebrations. The militaries, they're in their base. The police, it's not like you want to run into the city and you're gonna see these chaos. Everything is like
Staying low.
It's staying low, basically.
Yeah.
And if you don't hear anything, so then you go and you do your best to try to get into this grocery store or this supermarket to get some good for your home.
So what would you tell people that say, oh, the United States are invading another country? They shouldn't have done this. This is something for the people to solve. You cannot go to another country and just take over and, like imprison their president. What would you say to people that say those things as a Venezuelan?
Well, it has to be one or another person who's going to take over either way. And the reason why United States is taking over is because Venezuela in the past they did the wrong thing to United States. They invested millions and millions of dollars into the infrastructure, and when Chavez took over, they just didn't send. They just went like, no, get out of here. We don't need you here. So it's basically they fool they fool United States, and because it took all this time, it's not like it was overnight. What happened on January 30th? Something happened from the past, from many, 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 many years ago, and it was time for somebody who have the guts to actually do it, because all the presidents of United States in the past, they know what happened, but nobody have done anything until President Trump step over. And I'm not sure how he's entitled, but he have the guts to actually do it and get the oil back and then do the negotiations. If the people think that United States is invading Venezuela, this is not an invasion. I think it's just putting their hands in under their control, because they know how to manage. That's in my point of view. They know how to manage business and international, like globally. And if this is going to be the good for Venezuela, I'm not sure. The time will say. Time will
Time will
say.
tell. Time will tell, right?
Time will
But
tell.
one last thing about this subject. Oh, people say he is only for the oil. He doesn't care about the people. What will happen to the people? Do you think life is going to be better or worse?
Well, he's not the only one. Russians, they have interest in Venezuela. China have interest in Venezuela. Cuba was getting the oil for free. Why they don't say anything about that? Why the people don't say, oh, why Venezuela is sending the oil for free to Cuba? Why? When our resources to become a better country are from our own land. So if the people who say, oh, he doesn't care about the people, he does care about the people. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it in the first place. If these people think that he's more interested in the oil, so go ahead, get the oil and do what you have to do, as long as the Venezuelan people are better and having a better relationship.
And how are people feeling about this now? Better, worse? Are they happy for the change, or they feel their life is not going to be better? In general, from your family, from your friends, from the news you hear from there directly?
My family, some are happy, very happy. For example, like my brother-in-law, um, over 15 years ago, he voted for the opposition, and he's electrical engineer for the oil company in Maracaibo, Venezuela. And he couldn't find any more jobs since then. Like a really
They
good
knew
job.
he had voted for the opposition?
Of course, they knew. They have a blacklist. If you, for example, you are not agree with the government of Nicolas Maduro and you want to vote against his government, somehow they will get your name and your ID number, la cédula, and they get your name into the blacklist, so you can never find a professional job as an engineer, electrical engineer for the oil company, for example, in this case. And I just spoke to him. Today is January 19th, I believe. Today is January 19th. I spoke to him yesterday, and he gave me the news that he already have a contract to have a project for 12 wells, 12 oil wells to start the project. So it's already happening. The happiness is already there. Now, I'm talking about for my parents. My parents are senior citizen. They are basically retired. they have a little bit, especially my father, they have a little bit of fanatismo. He wants Maduro back. You see what I'm saying? He think it's okay to have only one government, one person up there. So, but out of 10 people, I would say he will be the only one who's not happy because 9 people are happy of what's going on.
Why was he not happy? What does he like about the former government?
He really thinks the imperialist is over Venezuela and other countries. And he, in his mind, he really believes no one should be governor or taking over other countries. Every country should have their own government and no one should be interfering with their economy, with the politics, with that's all in his mind.
Okay, I understand. Thank you so much. And I want to ask you also one last thing because we will have DJ Ruby back to tell us her story in the United States, but this is not the subject today. What the people that are immigrants here, sometimes they are because they want to immigrate or they have the opportunity. Many of them are because of need. What was the reason that you emigrated 26 years ago to the United States? You had a daughter there, you left a daughter. I wrote some articles for DJ Ruby and I interviewed her formally. And I was reading them for this interview. And one was, she said, "You are my daughter. You are mine. I will never leave you. I will bring you here." And you did.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And your daughter is successful now.
Yes, she is. Well, the reason was because 26 years ago, when I started seeing the inflation, and I heard from other people, friends and family, oh, going to United States, you get the opportunity to make money faster and come back and have your own goods, like a house, your own business, your own car. By then, I have nothing. And I have the opportunity to come to United States. And I came. I saw the opportunity. I saw the potential. I went back to Venezuela. Okay. I went back to Venezuela being happy the way I was. But then the inflation came like 1,000 more than what it was when I arrived back. So 1 year later, being back in Venezuela, I realized if I go back to United States, maybe I can get, maybe no, I was 100% that I was going to get the money faster to build my own house there. But basically my destiny changed. It was part of myself, but it was part of God also.
Well, tell us a little bit about how your destiny changed, because we're going to leave you some flavor for a future story podcast.
Yes, which is, a new life in the United States, and everything changed. Yes.
But people think, immigrants, that life is easier, everything is faster here. That's the image you have, but once you get here, what was the reality? Is it easy?
Oh, no.
Does money fall from the oil, the dollars fall from the trees?
No. Of course not. I mean, you have to put yourself out there. And first of all, dealing with the language, because depends where you are. You're not able to communicate in your native language, which is Spanish. In my case, anywhere in the United States. I mean, like, a lot of people speak Spanish, but not all of it. To have the American dream, you gotta follow the rules. You gotta try to learn the language, trying to do the right thing and follow the rules mostly, because not everybody likes to follow rules. So in my country, people do whatever they want. And that's why, unfortunately, we have different life in our sub-developing country. But being in United States, I have in my mind, I would like to learn the language. I have the opportunity to stay, so I decided to stay over. But I decided also to learn the language. I decided to 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 be better in my life and to offer a better future for my daughter.
Is your life better than it would have been if you had stayed in Venezuela?
I think so, definitely.
And
Yes.
your daughters?
Oh, yes, definitely. 110%, I will say. Maria, when she came, she was 11 years old. After I got married with a wonderful husband, he helped me to bring my daughter here, and she went to school. She graduated with high honors, and then she went to school, to college, and then she graduated as an X-ray technician. And today, she's having her bachelor's. She's still going to school to go to the top. Then after getting married, I have Sophia, which is a wonderful daughter also. She's a senior now. She's gonna go for teaching, and she's very into music. She's a great kid, almost perfect, I would say. To me, she's perfect.
The perfect mother. You can tell that,
Yes.
right? It's a mother talking here.
Yes. So, and we have a wonderful life. We have the up and downs, but I have a beautiful home. Uh, I got a great job. Thank God, and thanks to my English, I was able to acquire a federal job and working for the school district. And I can't say that much, as everything has been great so far. And I can't even compare if I was going to be able to be successful in my country, because in my country, probably I have to be enchufada. I have to be plugged in.
Connected,
I have to be
right?
connected with the government to be successful, because I used to have, since I grew up, since I was little, I know we have a good life there. Perhaps the situation, I grew up in a nice house, middle class, they say it. Very humbly, I can say my parents worked so hard to give us what we have, but I I refuse by them to go down. So that's why I saw the potential in United States to have a better life, because I knew by then that it was not gonna be that easy. It was not easy here, but in a few years later, we all acquire a very good future for ourselves, especially for our generation, our daughters.
One last thing I want to ask DJ Ruby. Well, I know her as DJ Ruby, but she's Marialides Hann. Well, she's both. Would you do it all over again the same way?
Whatever God will give me, if I will have the opportunity to do it again, I will do it again.
The same. You would come here.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you for telling us the view of how you live your life in Venezuela, how people are living these changes within your family and with the population in general. We wanted to give you like a direct input from somebody that's from there, that speaks clearly and with sincerity, and how life was here in the United States. It's not easy, eh? The dollars don't grow from the trees, really, I promise you. Thank you so much. Remember to follow us in Crossing Cultures with Christina Luna. You can listen to this or watch it on YouTube and listen to it in Spotify. And don't forget to follow us and give us a review. The algorithms love it. Thank you, Marialides Hann.
Thank you, Christina Luna. I will see you again. Thank you.